I am having a great time with this new space. You can actually ride in a boat. I know for all the former PlayStation Home users, because we have Atom Universe, which is out, and also Nebula Realms, and I have to say, Nebula is killing it. I mean, the environment is really just so rich, and I don't know, it's amazing. I feel like this is such a great replacement to PlayStation Home for all the people that, used to get on there and have such a great time, especially those that would hang out with me. It was so much fun. Definitely miss it. So I know this isn't one of my traditional gameplay videos because it's not really a game per se, more of a social environment, if you will. But yeah, so I heard they had this update out, and I was very excited to just kind of give it a try, see what it was, what was going on in the world of Nebula Realms, and I'm very excited with this new development. Be it a small one, it is super exciting. We have this great big body of water, and you can just be in the boat. Now, I would like to see them implement some swimming. Swimming would be amazing. That is one of the things that I loved about PlayStation Home, that we were able to do that. As you can see, my character's still very generic looking. I've decided I am not going to purchase crystals until, kind of the bugs are a little more worked out, there's a little more things to do, and then, I will happily, purchase some crystals, change my clothes, my appearance. Personal spaces are something I'm really looking forward to. But yeah, this is pretty great. It's amazing. If you haven't been on Nebula Realms, you probably can't get on it at this point in time, just because I think the developers only had so many codes to give out for beta testing. I don't know if that is something that they are still doing, but I can tell you that I was one of the lucky few to have gotten my hands on one of those codes, and I am very grateful for that, because I definitely like where this is going. They do have a mini golf game currently that is not really, in its greatest form. But whoa, hey, I think I just found a glitch. So my boat is on the shore. So yeah, it's still a little buggy. So they do have to work out the bugs. But overall, I definitely like where this is headed. I can't wait to see some personal spaces and, some new developments. From what I hear, they have quite a few outfits and things to customize. I've just not gotten that far into it. Like I said, I'm not making any purchases right now until the game's a little further along. But I think the developers have worked their bums off, and they're doing a phenomenal job. And I mean, just look at this environment. I mean, that is a lot of hard work and dedication, folks. It really is. When we lost PlayStation Home for the PS3, I believe there were still 31 million active users on just in America, is from what I understood what the numbers were. That is a significant amount of people. And I was very disappointed that, Sony just did not want to keep that program going. PlayStation Home had never left its beta stages. Again, that was very sad, but I'm sure that they didn't really expect it to go on. Well, and then I've lost it. But I don't think that Sony really wanted it to go on. Idea of what they wanted PlayStation Home to be. And that was never able to come to fruition. So it basically became, you know, a series of other independent developers that kind of came together and made home what it was in its modern time. A lot of people really loved it, enjoyed it, and appreciated it, but, you know, it really came down to what Sony's call was for that program. And so they had decided to discontinue it, and a lot of people are very sad, myself included. Oh, look, it looks like another person has found his way to our beach space. And that is quite the costume. Again, you know, they do have some customizations. I just, you know, I'm very generic right now. I'm going to stay that way until, you know, further notice. But yeah, again, you know, just a really great job that they've done here, and the mini game of golf definitely needs work. I'm sure at some point we're going to see some bowling. They do have a dance club sort of space. They have their Leaf Park, which again is very beautiful. I think actually connects to this space right here. And, you know, really, really hard work. I think it's definitely going to come along, you know, as they get maybe more funding, just more time. You know, it takes a long time to create these environments. It takes a lot of work and a lot of staffing and hours, and, you know, it's not the simplest thing in the world to do. So just the fact that they have accomplished this much since the closing of Home, I find to be an amazing feat. I'm really glad that they did that. You know, I think maybe the background music is probably a bit louder than I would like. If I hit quit game right here, I don't know if it's just gonna send me right back to this beach. And, you know, I'm not really sure how to get out of this space without it just kicking me out of the game. That is the one thing everybody's kind of, you know, still very buggy, and, you know, kind of getting around has been a bit challenging. So let me see. I'll just press a bunch of buttons here and see what they do. Little menu. Yeah, okay. So, respawn. And now I am in their Leaf Park. Which, if you could tell, so when I'm kind of moving around that lake area, I try to dock right around here, but as you can kind of just tell from the environment, it doesn't exactly, like, really connect. I mean, it does in a superficial way, but their Leaf Park, they've done a great job. Just the overall environment, I think, is very home-like, maybe even a bit better. You know, they've really put a lot of detail into this early build of Nebula Realms. Not to knock Atom Republic, because I feel like that they've really worked hard on their game too, and didn't have the same kind of funding and opportunity, but Nebula Realms has definitely done a great job at this. And if this were a personal space, let's be honest, this would be one hell of a personal space to purchase. I mean, PlayStation Home had some large spaces, but this is a very large space. This house is massive. The environment is massive. And I think it's very nice. I've definitely put a lot of hard work and effort into it. Wow. Well, she is certainly dressed for the beach. And we have a Santa jack-o'-lantern head thing. interesting. I love to kind of see the other people in these environments just because they're so interesting. My character is very generic, but eventually that will change. We kind of have these boundaries here still. I would like to see those, you know, maybe sort of expand. Definitely want to see swimming in the future. I don't know, it's just fun. And, you know, and as they expand, I'm sure they're going to do wonderful, wonderful things. But this is absolutely beautiful. And you can tell that they are certainly invested in their work and in their game. And so I think if anyone were a former PlayStation Home user, you can certainly appreciate the effort. I've kind of checked out their message boards and I've seen a lot of criticism, you know, like, well, it's too glitchy, it's this, it's that. Okay, that's going to happen anytime you're developing a game. You know, there are a lot of blood, sweat, tears, and, you know, time and effort that goes into creating games. And I'm not a game creator, and I know this. It's going to take time. But I think we all just have to kind of exercise some patience and some understanding, and to be really appreciative of, you know, the hard work and effort that has gone into this, because it is truly something absolutely stunning. And I definitely think that they deserve, you know, some patience on our part and that support, because it is just amazing what they've done. I mean, I can't really say enough good things. I love everything about the environment. It is just phenomenal. The game rendering, very smooth. You know, I know that I've gotten on here in the past and has been kind of laggy, but definitely today it is very smooth. And so it looks like they're working on those bugs. I know at some point I went to go sit down and I kind of sank down into the seat, which was not ideal. So they are definitely working hard on this game. And I would say a year from now we're going to see a very different kind of experience with this. You know, definitely expanded in so many ways. More games, more things to do inside of this environment. So I just left Leaf Park and I am we do not. Give me just a second here. May, can you go ask your sister to maybe give you some honey, please? Okay, so this is the main hub. Ask your sister. I'm so sorry. My little one is not feeling well. This is the main hub, and again, very large environment. And I feel as, you know, they kind of grow this game and, you know, get the word out, and it's no longer in beta and their servers can handle a large amount of people, you can imagine that there are just going to be an expansive number of people in this space, and that's going to be pretty exciting. Ask her to get you some honey. Just on a spoon, honey. Okay, so here is kind of their dance club. You got people hanging out here. Of course, somebody that looks just like me, because, you know, that person probably decided, hey, I'm not gonna purchase crystals right now. Although I don't know what is going on. We've got some laser jet looking guy. That is very interesting. I can tell you, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that in PlayStation Home. Yeah, so I mean, very cool. I don't know about the two blue, you know, DJs up there. like to see them a little more, you know, human-ish. Yeah, but definitely some interesting avatars going on here. But yeah, I kind of like how the dance club so seamlessly goes, you know, back into the main hub without that loading screen. You do have to kind of endure the loading screen when you go into the Leaf Park. But this, again, is a very huge environment. A lot of spaces that you can just run around with no loading time. I do believe they said that they were going to try to make this cross-platform so that they could do this, you know, with PS4, perhaps Xbox someday, PC, and everybody could kind of just, you know, be on their own devices and interact with one another. They're obviously going to do something with this area since it is still under construction. But again, we can kind of have those boundaries. So yeah, I think overall they have done a phenomenal job. Their chat box, I like the size of the text. It is easier for old people such as myself to see. Not that I'm that old, I'm going to be 35 this month, but old enough. I was going to try to get into the golf game here, but I find that when I try to do that, it is very glitchy. I'm going to do that. I just wanted to kind of go through this because there are a lot of people that are asking questions about it and are not able to access it because they didn't get one of the beta test codes. And I don't know if they're still available or not. They just kind of want to maybe add Nebula Realms on Facebook and ask the developers about maybe getting a code and seeing if they're still doing that. But very interesting stuff. I hope that we can kind of see some of the things that we saw on PlayStation Home, like the Aurora minigame. That would have definitely been awesome to see. We have this little sign up here that says Nebula Realms, your next home. I thought that was a nice little touch because it does feel very home-like. You know, it's not going to be exactly the same because it's not the same, but what they are doing is in their own right spectacular, and I certainly wish them the best, and I will continue to play, and I kind of like being a part of it from the very beginning, because I will tell you that is one thing I was not a part of PlayStation Home from the very beginning. I think I started with that maybe about a year after it came out, so I didn't really get to have the full experience, and I heard about how many changes had taken place between the conception to the end, and I wasn't really able to experience that. I saw a lot of growth during my time in PlayStation Home. I was a part of that for many years, and you know, I thought it was pretty great. You know, but everybody had their own opinion of kind of what it was and, you know, how they felt about it, and, you know, to each their own. But me personally, I enjoy things like this. I just don't really have the patience for a lot of the games that come out nowadays. I kind of like to just, you know, run around, interact, you know, with things, with people. And it's just fun. You know, and I think as long as you have fun with it, that's all that really matters. But it's kind of, to me, like The Sims, which I love The Sims, except you don't have any particular goals to meet, and you can actually interact with real people. So, you know, for me, this is kind of just the perfect environment. It just needs to grow and to continue, and I think that it will definitely do that, you know, as time goes on. So yeah, that's just kind of my little walkthrough of Nebula Realms as it is right now. And really, like I said, I hope you guys give it a try. If you have not done so already, join Nebula Realms on Facebook, talk to the developers, see if they're still giving out any codes. And if they are, grab one for yourself, download it, because things are only going to get better from here. They're going to keep working on this and expanding this, and there will be personal spaces at some point, and more mini games and glitches will get worked out, and will definitely become something very big, I think. If you cannot join Nebula Realms, I would say try Atom Universe. They still have a very long way to go. I don't feel that it is streamlined as well. You know, the environment is not as rich. The walking is